phase in G2 here, there's that much more importance on Na'Vi being able to stay as far away from them as they can.
Questions here?
Yeah, that's certainly a nice way to start. Simple down through long with his fame. P2K is backed up every step of the way.
From 3-0 in the Challengers to 1-1 in the Legends.
Came from a bit.
What have you and the team looked at prior to this match into the breach?
And first event with
your
Na'Vi,
performances
and
so
going
far
on to
have
be, one of the best
been
players in the world.
MVP-worthy, to say
one
the
of the best
least. And
aimers
Snappy, he
so
told me that he gives you a lot of freedom if
potentially
you're
a bright
up to
future
the
for someone
task.
like MPL.
Do you feel like you're up
we're
to the
just
task,
really
and
yet
do you
to see,
appreciate that freedom?
You know, the true depth of his
takes
you know, actually, I think it's kind of interesting because homing in on bit when Na'Vi were really at their peak,
Marco and
bit,
Snappy,
you know,
and so the coach knows
looking really,
I
really
can actually
good.
do it. So this is.
He had a bit of a struggle sometimes.
And tell us more about your role. This taking space. What does it mean for Hens that you can take up so much space and give your team a little bit more space for plays to happen?
Bit's been playing really well. He's kind of on par with Electronic in terms of the rating. He's given us some great games where he's been the guy up towards the top of the board for Na'Vi.
So,
you know, that was like a prerequisite to Na'Vi's success around the time of Stockholm.
And what does a player like you, someone who does so much damage for their team, do to keep up your confidence?
Again here in Paris for the Blast TV major.
I'm excited to see
how does a player like you
got installed
keep up your confidence to play at the level that? Amazing. Thank you so much.
Na'Vi have struggled with as of late, and NIP have got decent wins over the likes of Cloud9, Fnatic 9.
Both feet inside the box, please.
Let's see it. Roland smokes the Molotov towards short, but he's not pushing it. His team are heavy in middle.
Stand by stream, mate.
Facto playing a dangerous position considering the tendency to throw that wood nade and spam with it. But right now seems assured in his position alongside MPL, playing close double monster with SMGs. Na'Vi not really armed for the job here. It's crucial on the M4.
British team comes out of nowhere, beats FaZe Clan. How on earth did that happen, and have you guys had time to reflect on it?
Yeah, it's honestly it's been crazy. We're the massive underdog.
Pure bonus rounds.
But we were all shooting well, so when we shoot well, when you have good atmosphere in the team,
just means no matter what happens for Na'Vi here, they still stay winning. They can lose this round, and they're going to come in with a full buy next. But
and I saw that Cypher. You know, you're talking about the good atmosphere, and you can beat anyone. Cypher, he was on fire yesterday, to say the least, in the pre and post match interviews. How important for you guys is that atmosphere?
Also, crossfire work for Na'Vi. They don't freak out despite conflicts.
And you've played in a lot of teams, and it is your first major indeed.
They go into that with 4 SMGs and an M4. They come out with 2 AKs.
It's always been my dream to play at the major. I've been trying for almost like 10 years, so
that bonus,
when it finally happened at the last year's Go major, I was just really excited and happy, and I'm ready to play.
To connect.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Crucial.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Kind of group up in the middle. You still got to be very careful here because Na'Vi are playing passive in the bomb site, so they're not going to get much warning if NIP walk the walk right up through toilets, the little snake through toilets or short.
Yeah, I like the kind of staggered setup that Simple and Bit are playing now, right? Simple's going to get that first line of contact. Now he can kind of go through the motions a little bit more, but he actually decides to aggress, and he's got Bit backing him up, so I don't really know what Simple's next move was going to be. It's a little ugly for Bit there as he tries to get that trade down through short, and I like that he's just tucked in. He's waiting for these rotates to move up. He knows that if he falls, suddenly this site is wide open, but he just elects to stay alive, keep the pressure up inside of the site, and that allows Electronic to move.
Nice, and Simple gets caught. 4-0. Head trick with an AWP on the T side will be met by Simple. Smoke on the mid molly to get him up, and Simple will meet him there. One flash, however, forces some respect. Na'Vi making a play. Beautiful flashbang. They take Roland straight out of the round. It's been very passive on this B control, not been taken short. And it gets kind of caught out in the open there between positions. Na'Vi, again, an early advantage. And facing long without a flash will be Config's demise. As well. Na'Vi are poised well for this. They're giving nothing to head trick. NIP are just waiting for this AWP to find a pick, but it's not coming through. It's Simple instead, who will find Config, drop the smoke, and it's up to Bit.
Oh, the nade in toilets is really well timed, and this bait and switch to kind of pick things up a little bit here. They want to have a chance on the T side. There's a few others though. I'd say Brolin is always a key to these strong T sides, right? He's someone who can create a lot of space for the team. We've already seen some of those more aggro tendencies come through in that first B round that NIP employed. He was like the one guy who tried to move in with Alexi B.
Brolin's in such a hard role on this T side. You know, oh wait, hold that up. Rez is rushing B. They've just popped out with a flash and an entry. Rez has got 2. It's MPL and Simple able to sweep it under the fridge, and we can forget about it. But Brolin, you know, he's in a very hard spot on the defaults on T side because he's just going to be solo B, or maybe he'll be joined by one player to set him up into short water. We've seen him reluctant to take that position, and the first gun round, Na'Vi popped through the monster smoke. But Na'Vi are a team that love employing the boost towards B, will take short water when they need, have good crunches through connector. So Brolin's got a lot of responsibility in a very difficult position to play solo. You might start to see more players head down towards lower if he continues to have issues. Config flashing out middle and b1t fighting for it.
Oh, NIP are trying to take connector. So the one thing that this round is kind of hinging upon is Simple not giving up Con, and he's done exactly that. So he's on an island right now, but they haven't checked for him, and as a result, he's going to get away with 1. But ideally, he wants to try and find a bit more here. And as the attention is homed in on b1t, Electronic strikes from within the toilets. This is a very complimentary triple mid setup. Ooh. But Electronic's pulling nades, and they know where it is. So now it's hit.
Bank with the orb. Simple not happy he got sold there by b1t. And Config bringing the hype as NIP try and break into what has historically been one of the hardest T-side maps in Counter-Strike. So 6-1 is not a bad scoreline for NIP, they just have to build off it.
I like that from Config. I like that we hear him hyping them up.
We've seen a lot more energetic players here at the Major, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say as well, I think maybe we're witnessing a bit of a reforming of Config where, you know, the thing that I would say is part and parcel with how he plays is that you're not always going to have those crazy Config games, right? It's a bit of both when you play with Config, but I think if he can work on what he brings, you know, even if he is having a quiet game, if he can still be like the hype man of this team, trying to set up guys like Headtrick to make plays like this round, you know, and this is something he's kind of been actively working on ever since the RMR, then suddenly he's a force for good within this squad, even when he's not finding the usual Config impact rounds.
This is a nice rotate down, but they need to go B soon. They know that Na'Vi have just been playing these triple tops every single time, so getting a 1-for-1 and then going into a B hit, you know it's weakened. I say that though, Simple is here with the AWP for a change. He's in the right place.
Oh dear, why would you say that? Why would you do this?
Sorry.
He's a dead man!
Oh dear.
And now MPL had to swing out and try to trade. Only the one and done for MPL. Right as Simple was moving out of position, they move in.
These are really awkward rounds for Simple because you know he's getting annoyed, but like right there, he's the one who makes the reposition just for a moment. And if MPL's swinging off pillar, he can get caught. And I mean, he doesn't know. NIP contact out. They keep catching Na'Vi off guard by walking into bomb sites. So the second the Simple leaves his position, NIP hear those steps. They go hounding. And a great punish play back into that B bomb site at 30 seconds. Yeah. We've all been there.
It's just such a rough timing, isn't it?
It's like back-to-back. All right. We got 2 guns here for Na'Vi. That is it. Always going to stop you from making a play with the right util behind it with mollies. You know players are going to cross playground. Simple will decide against it. Hold on to an off angle towards party. NIP using Con a lot in this map, have yet to be challenged down in the blue. And again, Brolin just keeps up his consistency on B, reminding Na'Vi that I am here, you can't make plays, you can't push. Simple, he's aiming at the wall right now for the swing. Oh, if he's shot, out Con they go. That's a first short take for Na'Vi. It's not pretty, is it? Just dry double swing, and the second won't even commit. It's an M4 right there to grab. MPL doesn't take it yet. Goes back to Wood instead. Ooh, bit of spam for Brolin, but his legs get cut out from underneath him. And there's still util on B to keep NIP back in this 4-on-4. Simple's just jump spotting for now, and NIP are grouping down on lower, avoiding him once again.
NPL got naded in the site. 50 health taken off the man, and now, you know, B becomes very, very tantalized. This is nice from Na'Vi. They're right, trying to play around the threat that Simple provides. They triple lent down towards B, and Electronic makes this round happen. They've also double took short in the meantime, and Headtrick is not ready for this much aggression to be stemming from the lower site. Hell of a round out of Electronic here, and NPL alongside him.
Config will never get a fight here. Simple's passive enough that he'll be allowed to save his AK, and Na'Vi come back in with a really strong B hold. A double kill for NPL, and essentially the same for Electronic if you count the TK.
Or, you know, having to be a bit more reactive and relying on good reads, but that is like a proactive round. They take a very proactive stance. You know, even if NIP weren't hitting B that round, Na'Vi would have had that info. They would have started to rotate up ahead of time.
We have double orb here on CT as well, with Bit at long. Great for the map we're on, but not the most common purchase for Na'Vi.
But, you know, I actually kind of like this. You know, as you say, it's not like the most common setup, and it can be very misleading, right? Even if, like, Bit doesn't get a kill here, you hear the AWP fire off, you know that there is an AWP at long. Who do you think that is? You think that's Simple now. So, you know, you've just heard that AWP fire off a shot. You might be under the illusion that you've got a bit of a freer path elsewhere on the map as a result, and in reality, that is one of two AWPs that you've seen here. So while this double setup like has the element of surprise, I actually think it's pretty powerful, or at least it can be. Yeah, they're going to look to change this up. They've heard the AWP fire off from A, and they didn't really get the ground they were looking for, so down towards B they go. Electronic is once again making a very heads-up play here, pushing up past the divider inside of the A site. He's able to confirm ahead of time that he's hearing nothing, so that's allowed to move down to B, and Perfecto lights them up as they try to move in. Missed shot from Simple the second time around, but Perfecto has teed Na'Vi up for this one. Brolin does get his hands back on the bomb, but fast through short is Electronic, and he's going to make quick work of Brolin. Headtrick in this alone now. 1v4. All plans on the first bullet. Everyone else from Na'Vi moving up through the short side, and there's Bit to get the better of him.
Yeah, Na'Vi aren't worried in that clutch. They know he's going to be, you know, when they're blocking, they know he's going to be feeling the pressure and want to reposition, want to
I think that there's this element of like going back, seeing if he's going to play around Monster, you know, like try to take that rooting around to short for the post plant, and then the kill actually helped them to that goal. It's like, no, he's trapped in the pit. He would have to cross in the open. You guys would have a shot on him.
The scouting con.
Got a lot of info.
This is a curious one. This is where Bit is made to farm right now. He's just got to get past config and res on the deagle. Spam will do it though. That's one way to find an opener. Bit now, he's already wide, but he'll hit his headshot, no surprise. And Alexi's taking that scout back to middle, but Bit now owns below. He can dedicate, he can commit and clear it entirely. Simple, flashed off, doesn't matter, hits his blind shot. And he goes back for more, feeling hungry. Simple takes two.
Wow, that's a lovely flick out of Simple. Beautifully done over here in mid.
Good luck, Headtrick.
Just left on the Headtrick again. Another one of these impossible clutches. There's the con swing that is set to, if you're Blade right now, these are the kind of numbers you want, right? Yes. You've got Simple up top of the board, in behind him, Electronic and Bit, basically on the exact same, you know, like level of kill distribution between those three. This was, you know, kind of similar stat lines to what helped propel Na'Vi to best in the world around about the time of Stockholm. So these are the distributions you want. These are the numbers you want. All that's looking good for Na'Vi. They've just got to hold on. You don't want to give NIP a way back in towards the end of this half. If you can get a 12-3, you're wanting it every step of the way. So over here in mid, not going to keep mistakes to a minimum. They've freed up an extra man. Bit in the connector, we'll have a chance here. They start to shuttle players around down at B, and they set him up with a pop flash. Bit nails both players over in mid, and even goes one step further. Okay. Rez brushed aside with ease. Bit putting on a show. Any more in the tank for Bit. He is on for the ace now. Set up with that flash in mid, and it takes him to new heights. Only Config left standing. 1v5. And Bit's not going to go hunting for him. Config will have room to get the bomb back, but does that help him at all in this situation?
Oh, he's very fast. Config might hear this soon, though. Bit's running behind him in middle. This is exactly the fight he wants right now. He's on for 5 headshots on the ace.
Flashbang for the first 2, but everything else is all him.
And now he's confident, now he's making moves as well in middle, and if Na'Vi or if NIP don't play this at all, he could have set himself up with a very aggressive round. Config is passive in mid. They take it late. Roland throws his nades towards B, comes back up. And so they will snake out middle here. Bit's in a committed position. He needs another multi-kill, frankly, or he's going to arm his opponent. He just gets out of danger in time. Great grenade as well. And a rotate's come up onto that top side, so he's not alone. Simple has had a couple of B starters here. This is one of them, and it's freed up so much manpower for Na'Vi to rotate. Perfecto won't commit. And in fairness, they've seen nothing. But that nothing is about to be everything, everywhere, all at once for NIP.
Oh, the re-smoking at toilets, that is so frustrating. If you're NIP, they were kind of building towards the site here with the pistols. And now that smoke is the ultimate middle finger. Nade gonna come out on the back of that. Haven't seen anyone or heard anything this whole time. But Perfecto eventually leaves, is up inside of the A site right as he's required. This is a bit of a CT masterclass right now from Na'Vi.
Electrons as well, and
yeah, they've got the CT side pistol to play out now to NIP, and so much of this game, so much of this comeback hinges upon it. So they really need this to come through. Over towards long, there's already a bit of a skirmish. Brolin spotted out by Simple early. Now if you want to try and react quickly to punish the
V, though, want to immediately ride off into the sunset with a force buy. They've got an AK on Simple, Galils as well. Simple giving Perfecto a scout. And part of the reason I wasn't too worried if NIP did lose this game is it's not like we got a cold Na'Vi, right? That ace from Bit, some solid rounds for Simple, although a couple of missed timings in the early half let NIP in. Doesn't really seem like much of a weak point for Na'Vi individually. Going to show some mid-control, check out Con, and then drop back down to B, leaving Bit to lurk in toilet. No better man for the means. We've got pistols out. They make that, Galil armor round.
See you in 4 rounds,
a 2-on-1.
See you in 4 rounds, buddy.
See you in 4 rounds. A double digits.
I'll bring it back up. I'll bring it back up in 4 rounds.
Hey, look, Na'Vi, they like to make a game, but they do often win them.
One of the things that should inspire hope, and one of the reasons why I hope the Na'Vi kind of do look to make this right in their return to rifles, is as we were talking about, it feels like all the players that need to step up as like a prerequisite for Na'Vi to look their best are in good form right now.
Factual and true. This round should be a wipe. Head trick, gets out the anti-vac. Alex even has the mid-swing as well. He'll hear players in party if they drop. Unless they take it super sneaky, Alexi spots him. Head trick is just about multi-killing here. Take a few with you.
I just think, this was kind of bound to be how this round started with the with the spawns that were available, I think Simple is someone who's a great idea of those timings, and so I guess the reason why it was worth mentioning in my eyes is that it does just remove that from the playbook, right? Like, he's never going to go mid when his spawn was that bad.
We saw exactly what you prophesized, what we expected in the Headtrick takes the close peek. He doesn't climb up. He just wants the instant kill, and then Simple goes con and he flashes MPL through, which he's been playing alongside in a lot of maps on both halves, really.
Ooh, even this is like an annoying way for the round to start. Simple and Electronic are trying to play together over here outside of Monster. And Electronic, who's often the front man on a lot of these monster pushes, ends up getting spammed down to half, forcing him to a bit more of an awkward line here. But they both win their fights. That's a Simple and Electronic move right there.
Some say the best duo in Counter-Strike, Harry.
Electronic and Perfecto continue racking up these kills. And so now it's just Alexi B left standing. He will still exert a bit of pressure on this B site. The plant, exactly right. It's like the perfect time to strike back with only 3 surviving for Na'Vi. You have their money on a bit of a ledge, and on top of that, you know, as you say, you're still going to have a buy round before Na'Vi are on 15.
Oh, and they've got a plan behind it as well. With limited util, they want to get a 5-on-4 very early. This is a nice play. It might even net Perfecto if he doesn't walk. He's holding it. Perfecto? No. Okay. It looked like that little angle was being checked. This is deep though. Did he? No, he didn't see it. They're on offer. They're right there for the taking. Perfecto has no idea. How patient will NIP be?
I mean, this is the problem with the triple. You can't hold this forever.
Oh, that's the worst. They see a flash over Monster. Now they're scared someone's out. Config luckily has the info, but he's on his own. It's all too quiet. I fear that Na'Vi will check this. I don't know why. Oh, well, they heard that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this was always going to be the downside to doing the triple boost. If they're not going to give you the peak, you cannot wait with that many resources dedicated down lower when you aren't getting any visual indicator that someone is coming for a peak, coming for a push. You know, at bare minimum here, it's kind of giving NIP a kind of better picture as to how this round might play out.
Oh, that's
Electronic, not the prettiest displays, but he will get the opener. And this kind of triggers a bit of a panic response out of NIP, right? They were just triple set up for this short creep, and now they've been swatted from it. What else don't they know? We spoke about it earlier on, but through the academy system, Headtrick came through Na'Vi Junior. I think for a lot of players for the region, Na'Vi is like the dream team to be a part of. But for any AWPers, no matter how good you are, you know, they're not going to look to promote you over Simple anytime soon. That was always like the problem, even for folks like Monacy, right? That was the crux of being a star AWPer on that Na'Vi Junior squad. So in a way, you know, Simple was someone who kind of was an obstacle to Headtrick in progressing throughout his career. So let's see if he's able to keep matching Simple's output here.
Well, that was part of the question for Headtrick, because he was just kind of a purebred rifler initially in Na'Vi Junior when he played alongside Monacy, who of course was star of the show. You know, of course, Headtrick even played with MPL at points in Na'Vi Junior. Went back to Na'Vi Youth prior. So it goes deep, their academy pool. Simple with the saved AWP, 4 rifles. And Na'Vi want a move, but nothing being given to them. I say that, Brolin getting curious, and Simple cat-like reflexes will find him. Lands on his feet as Na'Vi get ready to hit this site.
Headtrick only as a scout here, so he desperately needs help. He is going to get run at. They're up close. They're ready to move in. And with that first shot missing, he is a dead man. Bit follows up. And this seals the deal on the round. NIP were not really set up to deal with a fast A play like that. Once they lose Brolin over at long, it was just too much pressure on those 2 players in at the truck. And Alexi and Headtrick. You know, the bait and switch that they're attempting to employ doesn't really have the good graces of working when Headtrick misses that opening shot. It's not like he's pulled a lot of punches there on that one. So everyone's looking in at the truck. They very quickly spot that Alexi's there as well. And it was clean entry routes for Na'Vi to find 13. Yeah. They keep it flawless as well.
Take their time and they wait for it to come to them. They play it perfectly, realizing that with this primary system, space and long, we're already up toilets, we haven't been spotted. But yeah, I think we've seen some terrifying Na'Vi T-side overpasses, Harry, over the years. But this ain't one of them. I think it's a big tournament for Electronic. Well, he's dead. Big tournament for Electronic to prove himself, given the quote Blade said recently about you know, Electronic having a better understanding of the game than b1t. Oh, he saw him at least. I think he needs to prove that. The one thing that has been undoubtable, you know, can't really doubt it for Electronic, is that he's been putting up monstrous games individually, despite the burden of calling as well. You know, maybe not as high as it was when b1t was, you know, at the helm, but he's not been a weak link by any means. B is empty.
Yeah, I mean, NIP only have these pistols, right? So they tried to get a bit cheeky with it and employ this stack over on A in the mid-round. And obviously Na'Vi, this is the time they decide to go B. That's just the way she goes sometimes. And NIP forced onto this save. They're going to have one more chance to grind this game out and make it that much longer, but Na'Vi in pole position up onto 14 rounds, and it's the best kind of feeling in this one. It's the best way to get to 14. You're comfortable in this knowledge that if you win the next, if you get onto map point, your opponent is broke, and so you are teed up for the victory in a very, very free way. And, you know, as much as it's been nice seeing Hedrick perform like this, you know, Rez has given us some moments to win this song where I think, you know, you've noted that Brolin sat down bottom of the board. You know, even the kind of floor of Na'Vi is higher than that of a lot of the NIP players. Nipple sat down bottom of the board for the Na'Vi squad.
Gonna have flashes out long for Na'Vi. And with no warp, they're gonna get a lot of space for not a lot of cost here. MPL this time, solo clearing Con needs to win this fight, and he will. That's an important shot to Rez. Walks right past that open door, doesn't give a damn.
I'm really nervous for NIP in this round. With the routing that Na'Vi are on right now, with everyone so deep down long and Hedrick left alone inside of the A site, the one bit of levity that they can get is in clearing out short, but Perfecto is still here. MPL is still in connected. There's ways that they can keep this short play pressured. That kill going their way in the A play, and Hedrick caught out of position. This is a done deal. Na'Vi do such a good job of keeping this double short push contained, right? Keeping them boxed in and unable to kind of free up the resources that you normally get from taking this short control. And then there was that call to move up through long, more comfortable in the knowledge when your opponent doesn't have the AWP. There's like one small error here, and the bomb was left behind, b1t to move in a little later with it, but it shouldn't ever come to matter. Not as Perfecto goes hunting and knocks Alexi out of the round.
Simple just been picking Brolin on that A site in different positions, and yeah, Brolin just goes for like info plays, dry peek, you know, a little walk around the corner, boom, he's dead, and Na'Vi just hit the site. You feel like that one kill, it's all there for the taking, and this map is as well. Na'Vi now with 7 chances to close it out.
Oh, I feel a little bad here. Rez has bought up his hero AW. Well, that was supposed to be Na'Vi's like easy chance to close the game out, right? That was kind of the easiest round they're gonna have to do so. NIP from this point onward are buying till the game is over, be that in overtime or in regulation. They will have guns every step of the way, so it's going to be a grind now for Na'Vi. Roland making me nervous.
Yeah, do you really want to be jump spotting? I mean, you need the info, that's the issue.
But here's the thing, I think this is what Simple excels at, is he punishes these info plays so well.
It's close.
Roland, you are terrifying me, man. Just out in the open in so many of these moments, and here's the fast play in. Roland does reposition at the right time, gets himself behind the dice box. That's when Simple rings out with the kill from Toilets. Man advantage flips in favor of Na'Vi, and suddenly it's NIP tasked with a retake, a 3v4, as everyone comes up through CT, looking to take the position at Bank and Dumpster. So much is hinging on getting through this crossfire, and I don't know how you're going to get through this crossfire. It's so complementary. b1t and Perfecto have got this first line of contact, and then you've got MPL in the room, nor the respect. He throws himself into that fight.